Hey there, magic monsters. Welcome to Cocktails and Coding. Ah, yes. Cocktails and Coding. For those of you who've been around for a long while, which I'm pretty sure is none of you who are watching, because only one of you. Oh, no, three of you are here, so maybe some of you. Remember way back when I started streaming, we had coffee and coding, and we had cocktails and coding. But I never was actually drinking cocktails during most of those. But tonight I was. All right, I already had a little sip here and there, but then I was like, I loaded up this project and I thought, oh yeah, last night I was working on this coding stuff. And I thought maybe I should code it or live stream it, and so that's what we're doing. So this is caves. These are caves. These are a project I've been working on for a while and it's kind of sitting in the back burner, and I thought I should get this out because it's really cool. It's a whole lot of caves, as you can see, a whole lot of caves. And the reason why there's so many, and I'll just expand all these so you can get a sense here. The reason why there are so many caves is because there's actually an entire morphable cave system here. So if I load up the arc cave, just like our mesh morphing with characters, you can mesh morph the caves in all sorts of different ways to create new and unique caves, including expanding areas out. You can kind of see that, and expanding that area around and going crazy like that. And now you've got a whole different cave look. And then you've got this feature where you can go a big drop or go the other direction and make it so that there's just the tiniest of gaps between the two, and so your player can't quite get through. And then we export a whole bunch of these as meshes that don't have a skin mesh renderer and don't have the mesh morphing and are just ready to use. So that's what I'm working on now, because I was thinking to myself, I need to make a demo scene. Duh, right? I gotta make a demo scene. But putting caves together can be tedious. Like if I take this cave, make a copy of it, duplicate it, and I can go like this, and then I can, rotate 90 degrees or whatever, or whoops, not 90 degrees, I guess. Maybe it was negative 90 degrees. And then I can bring it over here. Vertex snapping doesn't really work, but you can just kind of line it up for the most part, and it lines up, and then you're good to go. And you're like, okay, cool, I got my two cave segments together. Great. But that's a pain in the ass. That's tedious, right? And so what I'm working on is a connector system. You got these two little gizmos down there, here and here, and the idea will be that any object in your project that has a connector object on it will be in a drop-down list. Oh my gosh, Corey, why didn't I think of that? Oh my gosh, god damn it. You. Now we gotta go into the studio and update the name, because that's a much, much, much better name than what I had, and I'm stealing it. And look, I didn't even change the emoji. And caves. God damn it. I'm happy that you told me that, and disappointed in myself, to be fair. To be frank, nobody's called me Frank in a long time, but to be frank, I'm jealous. There we go. Jeez. Alright. Well, that solved that problem, didn't it? Good job, Corey. You win the prize. Alright. So yeah. So any object with a connector object on it will show up here, and you can just select it, and it will populate in the scene, and I don't know exactly how it will go from there. We'll figure that out as we go along. I also have peanuts, because they're not bar nuts, but they're the closest thing I have to bar nuts. So you're welcome for whiskey and peanuts. And this whiskey is like 50 years old. Not like aged 50 then bottled, but it was bottled 50 years ago or 40 years ago or something. It was found in the garage of some woman who passed away, and it was her husband's, and he bought it in the 80s. So it's almost 40 years old. It doesn't age better, and it just tastes like whiskey, but it was free, so I didn't mind that. So what was I doing? Connector object. That's what we're doing. So I've got some code that I'm going to steal because I did a very similar thing recently in the prefab and object manager, I think. Yeah. With caching the equipment objects. There we go. And I put it in equipment system static. So I'm gonna rename this, I think. Let me see. Equipment system static. Where is this? So this is part of the equipment system. That makes sense. I can't really rename it if it's part of the equipment system. Script static, however, I could do it here. So I'm going to create a new script here. We're going to call this Infinity static. Clever name. Free is a very good flavor. All right. And so we're going to go a little crazy and just copy paste here. Not best practice to copy paste Infinity static, but it works. All right. Ignore that comment. Whoops. Used in from Infinity PBR. All right. You know who hasn't been here for a while is gosh, what's his name? The something. God damn it! Why can't I remember his name? He would always come and then he got a job, and now he doesn't come anymore because he got a job, so his hours changed. All right, so now in this we were doing the equipment objects. So we're going to copy this and go through it and figure it out. Just have to copy the bull. Yes, thank you, Corey. I knew someone would remember the bull. Where is the bull? The bull has been missing in action ever since he became a legitimate person with a job. I mean, he had a job, but a different job. A coding job too, I think. Speaking of code, I should zoom in. All right. So we're going to look for connector objects. And it's going to be listed game objects. Found objects is going to be path in all prefab path. Okay, let's find that. What's all prefab path? I'll zoom in here too. What's all prefab path is this. So let's bring that over here and we will fix it up. All prefab goods. Okay, we need that as well. Good thing it's right here. I feel like if I'm already doing it here, oh well. So I think what I should do is instead of doing this, I should, let's see, can I do using Infinity PBR dot Infinity static? How does that work? Infinity static. Yes. All right. There we go. Oh, why is it? I do it using. Ah, I see. Using static Infinity static, and then down here instead of all prefab paths, I can do Infinity static, or maybe can I just comment these out? Does that work? Ah, and it still works. So now that I'm moving those to Infinity static, it still works. So that's good. So I'm going to just put a note here for myself. August 5, is it? 4. Ooh. 4, 2022. Moved these to Infinity static. All right. That's good. The bull. Where's the bull? All right, we've got those. So this is saying for each path in the paths to the prefabs, we're basically finding all the prefabs in the project, getting their path into an array, and for each one, we're going to load the path, load the asset. We're going to try to get component connector object. Connector object, and then if we don't find it, we're going to continue. Actually, we do nothing with this this variable that we populate right here, but if we don't find it, then we continue. Otherwise, we add it to our list. Have a found objects, and then we're going to distinct it, so we only get distinct assets. Alphabetize it, so it's by name. Remove anything that's part of a prefab instance, and I think this just means anything in the scene, essentially. Remove the selected object, except for this one, we don't want to remove the selected object because you could, if you have an arc cave, you can add another arc cave to it. Yeah. Yeah. So that should do that. So we need to now make this a cache system. We don't want to call this every frame. That would be inefficient and uncool of us. So we will do a private void cache connector objects. And then we're going to say, wow. How do we do it here? Equipment objects equals that. Oh, and we copy it over there too. Interesting. I wonder why. I don't know if we need to do that. And then we say we did cache it. I see. So we're probably doing this on a loop. Oh no, we're not. Okay, show update and enable. Okay. Okay. Got it. I think. All right, so we need private list connector object connector objects equals new list connector object, and then we will say connector objects equals connector objects, and we need to use the static up here. So using static Infinity PBR dots Infinity static. All right. Why is this throwing a thing? Because it is giving us to list static list of game object. I see. So it's not connector objects. It is game object. So it's a list of game objects, connector objects. All right. And I don't know if we need to cache that. We've cached it. We're going to do this on enable. So private void on enable. Whoops, not on destroy. It's enable. We will say cache connector objects. And okay, and then we'll do a debug.log. And we'll say cached connector objects.count connector objects. All right, give a little feedback. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. All right, let's see if it works. Here's the problem. This is why I have that. In the other one, I have the option turn off auto caching because it goes through your whole project looking for those types. Now that I think about it, though, cache 2, that's good. There are only 2. If I do T prefab here, it's very fast. So it must be the other stuff that's slowing it down. It must be. Yeah, I'm going to do a test here. Debug.log done, and then return. And so return default. So we're just going to do a test where we see exactly how long it takes. And we're going to eat peanuts. By we, I mean me. Back when I was a younger guy, there was a bar in good old Alameda, California that had popcorn. Had a little popcorn machine. They always had popcorn. That was the best bar to go to because you could get a drink and then have popcorn and just eat popcorn for hours. Not have to buy dinner, you know? And it was free flavor too, so. Alright. Done. Let's see. Nope, it's taking a long time still. I just dropped a peanut. So it's still taking a long time. I wonder how Unity does it here. I don't know. Alright. Something to solve later. For now, this is fine. I think what I'm going to do, though, is change this into a button. So to do that, we're going to go back to our editor here. And we're going to add a new thing called private bool cached objects equals false. And on enable, instead of caching it, we're going to say cache objects equals false. And then on inspector GUI, we will do at the beginning draw cache objects and oops. And on that, we will say if we've already done it, then return. Otherwise, whoops, I'll spell it right. Otherwise, we're going to so background color equals color.cyan, and then we're going to say reset background, reset color there, and then we're going to start vertical box and then end box. And if you're wondering, yes, this is code inside the Infinity Editor class. You're welcome to use it yourself if you'd like. Alright, so then inside here we're going to say label, no, not nullable, label, cache connector objects, and we will actually add this here so that we can add in our symbol info and a tooltip that says load all prefabs with connector object components on them, so you can use that list in the editor script below, or editor tool below. Alright, and then we're gonna make this 200 wide. Oops. And then if button cache objects, and we'll make this one 100 wide. Then cache connector objects, and yeah, and then here we will say equals true. We've cached it, and then that will also make this whole box disappear from the editor script. And that should be that. Let's see if the color looks right. And let me know if I need to zoom in the code anymore. All right. I wanted this on the same row though. So I forgot to do start row and then end row. And then underneath this, well, actually I'm going to do it here because I don't want the space there if it doesn't show. So I'll put that space here so there's a little gap there. There we go. I do feel like I need to add a note here. The process may take a few moments. All right, so we cached 2 objects. Now we need to get them to show up. All right. It's going to show up again though because it got enabled again. All right. So we're cached 2 objects. I don't know why I clicked that, but now we need to show them. And I think I've got the position and rotation of the object here. Those are going to be presets, so you probably don't really need to change them. So user error is a thing. So I think I need to lock these, have a lock button on them. So in my connector object here, I've got my connector, and that has position rotation. I'm going to do a public bool lock position rotation equals true, false. And we're going to make this hide inspector so it doesn't get seen. And this is going to be handles inspector script whether user can edit values. And so this is going to be position of the spawn point and rotation of the spawn point. I guess this should have a space in it, and this should be spelled right. All right. I know those are pretty obvious, but I still put them out there anyways. And then back in our editor script, zoom in on that. Forgot to do that. Back in our editor script, for our drawing of these, we are going to say draw connector. For each connector, I'm going to move this to a new thing called private void draw connector, and pass in a connector. So connector, and here we will just say draw connector. All right. And then in our draw connector, we're going to I'm looking at this and I think I make my editor scripts pretty wide. Maybe I was thinking, should I put the stuff over to the right or just make it vertical in nature? And I think vertical. bring that over so I don't overstep my bounds here. All right, since we're doing vertical, we will do, let's see. Okay, we're going to say draw position connector. And we'll throw that down here. And you can guess what we're doing next, of course, draw rotation connector. And we'll make this method and put that down here as well. And now, whoops. Hey. All right, and now we will do the thing where if it's locked, we'll show something else. All right, so we're going to do that here. We're going to say if connector dot locked position, then we'll do something, otherwise else we'll do that. And I think an if else is perfectly fine here. We're all friends with if and else from time to time. Oops. All right, so if it's locked, we're going to say label, and we will just type in, can we just throw in this? Make it 200, I guess. That's that. All right, and we will copy and paste this down here and just replace that and replace this and see if that works. But we also need a button for the lock itself. So we will do a if button. Actually, what we'll do is show or draw position rotation lock button, because we're going to actually use this twice, so we should just make it its own little method. And on this one, we're going to say if button. Do we have a symbol for this? Symbol. Yeah. Symbol. Why is it being slow? It's going to be 25 wide. All right. It's so weird. It's not doing the auto stuff correctly. Symbol. There we go. Symbols. What are the symbols we have available? We have all these. We don't have a lock symbol. We do have these. This is what we use. Symbol circle open and symbol multiply circle or plus circle. I don't know. But really, instead of that, what we're going to say is we're going to have to pass in connector dot lock position rotation. If so, we're going to show the symbol circle open, otherwise the plus, and we will throw these in a parentheses, I believe. Yep. And then we'll make sure we pass our connector in here and in here. So if that, then we'll say connector dot lock position rotation equals not connector dot lock position rotation. That should be that. See if it works. Did it load? Oh, we have an error. What's the error? That would do it. All right. Those symbols don't match. Yeah. So, it's fine. Symbol, circle. Oh, minus circle. All right, we'll do the minus circle. And apparently the size is also an issue, so we'll make that 30. All right, so that should work. So now we'll be able to lock it. That's nice. Because I need to edit it to set things up, but once it's set up, it really doesn't need to be modified. They're here, they're here. They shouldn't move. They really shouldn't. But this would allow other people to use this in other scenarios, which is always cool. All right, so we lock those off, and then we have to make our list. Let me just clean this up a little bit real quick. All right, got those. So draw position, draw rotation, and then we're going to say draw connector list. So we're going to have to figure out what the UX is really like on this. I'm just going to play it by ear and see what it feels like, as I always do. But connector list. But oh, we need to pass in connector. Whoops. All right, and then make sure we pass that in. On our connector itself, we're going to need a field for, oh, I should spell the correctly. And really, this is going to annoy me. It just needs capitalization. It's important. So we're going to need a public. I'm trying to think about how a user would choose it. You're going to choose from a drop-down list, and when you choose the thing, you want to see it pop up, but you might not want to keep it there. So we need to have a public game object in-game object. This represents the temporary in-game object connected to the point. And we're going to need a public int connector list index, currently selected index from the list of connector objects, and yeah, I think we're gonna have to have some method of like locking this as well, because if you were to change it, if it's already spawned and then that's gonna have a system here, and so they're gonna connect each other. But if you remove one, then anything it's connected to, do those get removed? I don't think that would make sense. What's the Balmer Peak? Hi Jason, by the way, and nice new photo, by the way. I meant to say that earlier when I noticed it. I was like, hey, you got yourself a haircut and a shave, and now you're taking new headshots. I see what's going on here. You're gonna be an actor. What's the Balmer Peak? And So we need some method, I think, of essentially locking it. So we can just, I mean, we can do this down here too. We'll do a hide and inspector public bool lock object equals false, handles whether the object is locked. All right. As long as this won't get my YouTube in trouble, I'm gonna Google it right now, which is ultimately dangerous in most circumstances. Oh, I have a window open over on this laptop, but I'm gonna start by Googling it over here. The Balmer Peak. All right, we are here and we are here. Ah ha ha, yes. Can I zoom in? Does that zoom in? I don't think the zoom in works on the does it? If I zoom in. Oh. It does. Okay. This is the Balmer Peak. I thought it was a Steve Ballmer thing, but yeah, that's funny. Apple. Oh boy. Oh boy. But you're not wrong. I have been eating these peanuts, which are now gone, and thinking it's a good thing I'm not sipping this whiskey too fast. Just fast enough. Just fast enough, and then I'll play some Hearthstone and go to bed. Alright, so we're going to lock on an object. We'll have that ability in the end. And then here, for drawing the connector list, we're going to say... what are we going to say? I got sidetracked. What happened over here? Pushed a button, apparently. Alright. Over here, we're going to say... well, we'll do a label. So, oh, actually, we'll do a row, and we'll do, excuse me, end row here. Whoops, wrong button. End row, and then we'll do a label where we say object and interesting. I'm thinking now ahead of like what happens if they're at the start when there's no object. You don't want an object just to show up. So, well, I should add a random button. That would be fun. You can tell I'm thinking because I'm looking up at the ceiling, which of course you can't see, so you can't tell I'm thinking. Yeah, social media. At some point, you're going to have to burn your own old videos, you know. That's something I think about all the time, especially when people are like, hey, this video shows something, and it's something that I deleted and got rid of or fixed or updated a long time ago. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I should remove that video. Object, symbol, info. And tooltip is going to be the object connected to this spot. That's could be expanded later, and I think the width is 200 or 100 for these. Okay, 100. And then we will say that the connector dot index equals pop-up. Never understood the word pop-up for this, but what do I know? Connector list index, and then we're going to say cached objects, connector objects dot. Oh, we need the name. How do I do the name up here? Wrong one. Pop up. How many pop-ups do I have? Only 11. Well, I guess I could just do it right here. Dot select x dot name dot to array. And then width we'll do 200. All right. So that should give us the list, but we're also going to need to know if we selected something new. So we're going to cache our current object. And hey, El Sporco, it goes well. How about you? You are aging backward. You're Benjamin Button. Interesting. Interesting theory. Except I think the technology in your background will give it away. We're going to say int temp index equals connector list index, and then if temp index does not equal connector index, then we know we've selected a new one, and so we're going to say select new object. And we're going to pass in connector, and we will do that down here. Just thinking out loud here, when we select a new object, we're going to say if connector dot in-game object is not equal to null, then we will destroy it immediately. Connector.inGame object, and then we will say connector.inGame object equals, I don't know if instantiate is right in this context. It might be instantiate cached or connector objects, connector index, and then connector in-game object, we're going to say dot position equals dot transform dot position equals connector dot position, and we'll do the same for rotation. I think I could have done that in the instantiation, but that's okay. We're all friends here, right? All right. Yeah, Euler, really local Euler angles. Okay. Oh, and this is going to be really local position. Good thinking. All right. Ooh, half a sleepy time edible. I have a question. Made some popcorn. I talked about popcorn earlier. It's a good, one question at a time. Popcorn is a good snack. And I've been thinking about Trader Joe's because I hadn't gone to Trader Joe's in quite a long time. And then I went there because Fritos are expensive now at the store because of inflation and all that shit. Really, they just raised the price. But the Fritos, they're no longer the Frito scoops, which are very tasty with a nice jalapeno on it. Just a jalapeno, one jalapeno on a Frito scoop is very good. And so I went to Trader Joe's for the Trader Joe's version of Fritos scoops, and their prices haven't actually gone up that much, maybe a little bit, 50 cents or something. But I also bought popcorn there, and holy shit, do I like popcorn. I don't eat it that often these days, but because I don't go to the movies now, but yeah. And for the drink, it's just whiskey with an ice cube, although the ice cube's gone. And on edibles, I've never enjoyed it, mostly probably because I've been drinking at the same time. But what I don't understand is the whole 1/4 cookie equals 1 dose. Because who the hell eats 1/4 of a cookie? They're good cookies. They taste good. And you're only going to eat 1/4 of it? Doesn't make sense to me, right? make one cookie equals one dose? I just don't get it. I really just don't understand it. Anyways, that's my story. Let's get back to the work at hand here. Oh, look, it showed up. That's nice. All right, well, let's just see if it works. We're going to have to make the connection, so we got to do a little bit more work. But if... Oh, look at that. Well, it brought it in. It brought it in, but it did not seem to do... Well, either the rotation or the position correctly. Oh, and that's because... Why? It's because I need to do some math on the rotation. It's actually not local rotation. It's going to be position. So we're going to do transform.position. Whoa. Transform.position. What is going on? Oh, we're in the editor. Okay. So what are we calling our thing here? We are calling it connector object. Okay. Connector object.transform.position plus the transform position. Why aren't those? Oh. Alright, I think I've just passed that peak of the Steve Ballmer chart, I think. Alright, equals... Okay, so the position is equal to that plus that. Okay. The rotation is still probably okay. I think that's going to be a different... Well, actually, it's not, because we have to add... This might be off center. I mean, hopefully it'll be something like 0, 0, 0, but it might be some weird rotation. So we're going to have to add those two as well, I suppose. So we're going to have to say local or just Euler angles plus rotation, I suppose. And I know this is not actually rotation. Yeah, I guess we could try caching it too. So our transform equals that, and we will just say then transform dot, oops, wrong button, transform dot position. What if you could code in just emojis? Ah, too high tolerance. Wow. Yeah, bartenders, it's tough. Yeah, the gummies, the same deal. Oh, I went through the same damn thing. Flavacol, that's the shit, right? Flavacol is the shit. And then did you get the mushroom popcorn? Yeah, cheese popcorn you have to buy. I like the Gregor's, MC Gregor's or HCG Gregor's or something like that. And at Costco they have a giant bag for $5, but it has the caramel popcorn in it too. But it's still cheaper just to eat the cheese popcorn. Oh, jeez. Yeah, popcorn's good. But Flavacol, that's the shit right there. There was a company that I bought popcorn stuff, including Flavacol from, but I guess it was just like a couple who did it from Florida, and then one of them died, I guess, and so the other one decided she just stopped doing it. It was very sad. And then I couldn't buy any more of the mushroom popcorn, and the mushroom popcorn is the best popcorn. It's the kind that gets all big and round, and it's not, yeah. That is an issue. Alright, so now I'm going to change it, and it should delete. Is it deleting, or is it just... I think what happened was it probably didn't save the file. Oh, here's a good example here. You need to cache the objects. If there are no cached objects, you need to cache the objects. And that's why I copied it over to that, maybe? I don't know. So if there are none, then we're going to show it. So select new object. Where's my pop-up? Pop-up. There it is. And so instead of showing a pop-up here, we're going to say if connector objects.count equals 0, then we're going to do something end row and then return. We're going to say label, click the cache objects button above to find all connector objects. At some point I might need to add a type because I might do the same thing for dungeons, and you might need a type so you get only cave and only dungeons and something like that. Really? Was it like, I want to say maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago or something that they closed it? Oh, yeah, that was good stuff. Oh, and I got the Flavacol and the coconut butter, but it was orange. But yeah, it made the best popcorn. The closest to movie theater popcorn you could get. Although I didn't use the silicone thing, I used the tin can rotator thing on the stovetop. No, different place. Maybe it's just a Florida thing, because there are a lot of things that are just Florida things. Most of them involve people eating faces, but this one involves popcorn. So, you know, that's good. All right, so click the cache objects, and we do that. Hey, I'm glad you're going for your walk. I did 2 walks today, and it's hot. It's so hot. It's actually perfect weather. It's like 82 to 85 Fahrenheit right now in the daytime. It's really perfect, but I think, Jason, you would hate it because you're Irish, and you say that Irish people don't do well in the heat. That didn't work. Where is this? Wait, it did work, but it just didn't do the rotation? Oh. Okay, I'm going to do a couple changes. I've decided all of a sudden I'm going to do a couple changes. First, I'm going to remove this boolean. That button's going to always be there. And so we can ignore this, and we're going to ignore this, and instead of doing, we ignore that, and instead of making it here, we're going to put this on the connector, and we're going to hide inspector and list of all objects in project, and what we're going to do instead is when we cache this, I'm going to move that, and we're going to say connector object dot connector oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Alright, wrong spot. Close, but not quite. Alright. Not here, here. And we'll keep that, we're going to make it public. And so make that connector objects. Alright, so connector objects is going to be equal to that, but not only that, we're then going to say for each var object in connector. All right, this is what we're doing. All right, var objects equals connector objects. So each object in objects, we're going to say object dot get component connector object and dot connectors equals objects. All right, so that's going to update it for, is it? For all of them. Why is this? Why is this? Oh, no, connector objects. Yeah, I spelled it. Yeah. All right, connector objects. Okay, that's going to basically say every single object's going to get the same list all at once. And then you can just choose to redo this whenever you want. Most of the time you won't have to. If there's 0, then you will, but otherwise you won't have to. And that should save a lot of time. Oh, a side note, huh? You've been studying my Git book. Really? I feel honored. Really? Well, thank you. That I feel honored. I actually enjoy my Git book too. I think the reason why, let me show folks since we're talking about it, I think the reason why is they do a good job with just the way it looks. So if you go to my scripting doc, this is Git book. It's free for the basic plan, which is always cool, and it looks really nice. And it's just well thought out. They've got some cool components with coding, scripting things, and these little call outs, and you can put videos. See that? You can put videos up there. You got coding things. It's really nice. You can throw in images. You got these cool little tables. That's too bad that it skips around on the height, but you got these cool little tables. Wow. Well, thank you, Jason. I'm glad you like it. I need to add a lot more. There's a lot missing, but I just, day job. Yeah. I 82 to 85 is the perfect one. Link for the chat nerds. What do you mean link for the chat nerds? Oh, I see what you mean. Oops. No, not whatever the hell that is. No. I don't even use that. Infinity PBR.com. Scripting. Here you go, you nerd. You chat nerd. Does it look good on mobile? I've never actually looked on mobile. All right. So let's see if that works. I got some errors. Are those real errors or are those old errors that I just didn't clear out? All right, so we cached 2 objects. We do have these still same errors. Oh, wow, yeah, I got errors. They're multiplying. And I'm losing my scripts. Because these errors. Connector object. Oh yeah, it's not connector. It's going to be connector object dot connector object account. All right. There we go. There we go. That should solve that. This might. I don't think it will reset now. It should save. I mean, I guess I didn't save. I don't know if it will have saved it, but it should now save that list, which is nice. You're welcome, Corey. I didn't this time. Maybe I just need to save the project before doing that. All right. I feel bad for people who live in the snow. I often wonder, for people who live in like Maine or Quebec, why'd they ever move there? Or Minnesota? It's like, 7-8 months of cold snow and 4 months of really hot stickiness. Sounds pretty good to me. Nope. Did it not work? Do I have a bug? Click the cache objects. It did say cache to connector objects, but I wasn't watching to make sure that this didn't change. Now I'm watching. Watching it very closely. Alright, we seem to have a bug here. Click the connector object. Connector objects.count equals 0. Oh, does it? That doesn't help. Well, let's remove the hide in inspector. And see why it's not showing up. When we do the cache, get the objects. For each one, we will set the connector objects to objects. Let us confirm that it's not working. That's true. My parents had Boston accents. My mom still does. I think it screwed me up when I was a kid too. I mean, honestly, the reality is, a long time ago, people probably didn't know that there was better climates 3,000 miles away or something, right? I mean, you get used to what you got. All right, so that didn't work. It says it cached to connector objects, but it didn't actually. Doesn't seem like it did this aspect. So debug.log. Oh, I see a little silhouette of a man. So it's not doing it because these are excluded from the list. Or not important. That is important. Okay, so what we will do then is can we save this to the wicked smart? Can we save this to the static? Is that a thing? Can we do that? I think we might be able to. Let's see. Let's see if we can. It's gonna have to be static. Alright, that's fine. And then here we will say, well, where is it? Just connector objects, I suppose, right? Equals objects. Alright, so we can make that. And then we won't do this anymore. We will do that. And then on all of these 3 places, we will try this. Let's see if this works. Oh, hello. Hello, Humberto. How are you? Pick a mix. Ireland always looks very pretty in the movies. I was watching that movie trailer this morning about the banshees in Ireland, and it's not about banshees, I don't think, although there could be one banshee. But it always looks so pretty there. But also, it looks cold. The clothes they're wearing show how cold they are. And thanks for getting the Humble Bundle, Humberto. I'm glad you are supporting our work. Ha 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 ha. Build some games. It's always Pub Weather in Ireland, starring Danny DeVito? DeVito, yeah. Why did I forget his name all of a sudden? Alright. Cache the objects. Let's see if it works. Well, I think I'm going to have to change the lock to be external to these three, because maybe you can unlock it and then move it. Alright, so it seems to be... Does it seem to be? No, it does not seem to be. Delete. Oh, it does seem to be. Oh, okay, it is working. Alright, so it's changing right here. Oh, that's a big change in weather. But isn't it that there's more Irish pubs in the world than there are Irish people? I think that's the stat. I think that's definitely true. There's more Irish pubs in the world than there are Irish people in the world. That's pretty much, yeah, that was in the census. I'm sure it's true. You can just take my word for it. Aha. Yeah, so I just had the rotation off. So this is really going to be on the Y's, I suppose. And I just didn't know what the rotation was going to be. Oh, interesting. You know what? I mean, that position does line up, so that's good. Damn. We're going to need more options. You're in Singapore now. That's why it's expensive. Isn't Singapore crazy expensive? I was there once. I didn't like it. It was too hot. But not in the good way. I like being hot, but it was just sticky hot. And there were all these underground shopping malls. It felt like America. I used my Subway frequent buyer card there. And, yeah. Uh-oh. It's not unusual for them to eat cinnamon rolls with chili on top. Alright, so the thing is, a couple things. One, if we move this, we need to move this. So we should build that. And so we will position. Alright, so... put that here, and we're going to say var temp position equals connector dot position, and then we will do the same to the rotation. Whoops, selected too much. The problem is we're going to have an option to switch the opening of the target, because some of them have multiple openings, and you might not want the default opening to be where it is. Oh god, that's gonna take some math. We're not doing that tonight. There's no way. All right, var temp rotation equals connector dot rotation, and then if the rotation changes, so if temp rotation does not equal connector dot rotation, then we will say, I guess also, and if connector dot in game object is not equal to null, then we will say connector dot in game object dot rotate dot what would we say, Euler angles, local Euler dot transform dot Euler angles equals connector object dot transform dot Euler angles plus connector dot rotation. That should do some tricks or two, and then we'll do the same thing for the position, but we will change the stuff to be position, and we dot position equals that position plus position. Lots of positioning here, and that might do it. Maybe. Let's find out. Probably gonna have to add buttons too for making this y plus 90 and whatnot, because that's going to be the most common scenario. I still want to have the x and z. Oh, so that moved up, but the in-game object didn't. Probably the in-game object disappeared. And also because I have the wrong thing selected. So I should have this selected. If I now unlock this and move this up, okay, yeah, so the in-game object disappeared. It's no longer linked. For now, you know what I'm going to do as well, because where's in-game object? Connector in-game object. I'm going to, oh, it is exposed. Missing. Yeah. So the problem is if you do this and then load a script, it goes to missing. It's true about the pool. Well, there's nothing weird about that, Jason. The crisp sandwich is a normal thing. It's like putting French fries in your hamburger, but with chips. Oh, eggs on burgers is amazing too. Yeah, you guys are making me hungry, actually. It's very easy to get used to warm weather. Yeah. Alright, so the problem is that this goes away. So if I add it here, it shows up. Excellent. And then if I change this, it goes up and down, which is amazing. Undo doesn't work. Oh well. We'll have to... That's something. And then this... Oh, wrong one. 0. And then this works as expected there. Oh, what? Okay, but Synergy is the application I use to make my work laptop and my personal laptop work on the same screen and with the same mouse and the same keyboard. It works pretty well. I need buttons here to make the y plus 90 and y minus 90, so let's just quickly add that because I'm thinking about it. So rotation. And it's going to be here, and then it's going to be on the row here. We're going to say, but only if it's not locked. If it's locked, we're not going to do this. So what we're really going to do, let's change this because this is getting a little unruly. The if else was our friend. Now it's too much. So what we're going to do, if it's a locked, then we're going to just do that and then end row, and then be done with it and return. And that way we can just move this into its own little bubble there. So let's just do that here as well. Keep it consistent. and that will do all the things we wanted to do and change our life for the better. All right. So now if we have this here on the rotation, we're going to do two buttons. We're going to say if button, and this is going to be y plus 90. Hopefully that's clear enough. We're going to say, and it's a width of 25. Then we're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to do connector.rotation.y plus equals 90. And then you get the idea here. Well, I guess we should do minus first. So minus equals 90. Jason Story, I have a question for you. I was once told by my brother, who's a coder, that you should always add and not subtract. So it's better to add negative 90 than to subtract 90. Is that your understanding as well? Frozen yogurt. Now, Ashley, when you say frozen yogurt, are you talking about like the kind you buy in the store and you bring home and it's like ice cream but it's yogurt? Or are you talking about the kind you go to the shop and it has to be self-serve? Because non-self-serve froyo shops, what's the point? So you go to the self-serve place and you give yourself, you know, a little bit of frozen yogurt and a whole shit ton of candy and cereal and fruit on top. Or just fruit if you're trying to be healthy, I suppose. Is that the kind of froyo you're talking about? Because I haven't thought about that in a couple months, but holy shit, yes. Froyo. Self-serve froyo. Yeah. That is good stuff. Jason Weimann was once talking on YouTube. He was talking about frozen yogurt shops. I wonder if he ever decided to open one up. Do these buttons work? Let's find out. So this is going to be missing again. Oh, it didn't go missing. Interesting. All right, so these... Oh, or did it? All right, a couple things. We need to put... This has to be wider, so we'll do 35. Test that out. And then... Where's the temp rotation? Oh, yeah. We need to put this down lower. That's it. Oh, not that low. Oh, all right, there we go. Really? I did not know that. So you always want to multiply then versus dividing. Oh, I went to Disneyland once. We took my dad to Disneyland when he had Alzheimer's, and it was his last trip to Disneyland. We took him there, and we got ice cream, but it turned out to be frozen dairy. He still liked it. I mean, at that point, he anything sweet he would just eat. But I was eating it thinking, this is such a ripoff. We're in Disneyland. We just paid like $6 or something for a silly thing, and it's low quality. What the heck, you know? If you're gonna pay that much, fine, charge me a lot. Just make it high quality. Interesting. That's a good point too, Humberto. I think I'll ask my brother about that. It was a very, very long time ago that I think he mentioned that, and maybe I got it wrong. All right, this needs to be wider still, but it works. All right, that's good. That's good that it works. All right. So what I actually need is there an arrow gizmo? I've got these sphere gizmos. Is there an arrow? I would love to have an arrow pointing out here. But that's okay. All right, I need to move the lock out of this. So symbol, circle. So we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to drop, or like we're not going to do it here. What we're instead of draw position, we're going to draw connector list and object. Let's do it at the top. Yeah, we'll do it at the top, and we won't do it here. And instead of this button doing that, we're going to say symbol info, and oops, info, and we're going to say connector.lock rotation. We then, if so, then we'll say unlock, otherwise we'll say lock. And symbol info is going to say lock the values. I guess sneeze. Oh my gosh, thank God for the mute button. Whew. You're welcome, everybody. Lock the values to avoid making modifications. Alright, that's fair enough. Alright, so we'll see if that works. And then we need to show the connector object, or connected object, and a clear button. So draw in-game object connector. And for this line, we're basically going to say if there's none, then return. So we'll start with that. If connector.ingame object equals null, and we'll return. Handles might have an error, huh? Oh, that's true. Ooh, to catch Jason Weimann. That is not easy. I actually talked to him earlier tonight. I had a short call with him, and it took 2 days. It was supposed to be Tuesday. It ended up being today, and that's because he's a busy guy with all the babies and stuff he's doing. But I guess probably he's on Discord, but he doesn't really. He's got a Discord. He's got the GameDev Guild Discord, right? So the GameDev Guild Discord, that's probably the best way. But he always has an away message up there too because of babies. All right. So if there is no in-game object, then we'll return none. Otherwise, we're going to say label in-game object width of 100. And then start row and end row. Whoops. And then yeah, well, I guess we'll do label, or actually not label. We're going to do object field, or just object, is it? Yeah, just object, and we're going to do connector.in-game. Oops. In-game object. Type of game object. True as game object, and then alright, just that. So this isn't going to really allow you to change it. You could change the field, but it's not going to do anything. But it will allow you to click on it and select it. So that's nice. But I guess the width, I should make the width something. Width is actually going to be before this for some reason. So 200 there. Alright, and then we need the X button. So background color equals color.red. And then reset color, and then in that we're going to say if button symbol X and it's 25 wide. If symbol X, then we will say connector.ingame object.destroy, not destroy immediate, other way around. Destroy immediate connector.ingame object, and then connector.ingame object equals null, and then exit GUI just to make sure we don't mess anything up. We're getting an error with our GUI. And that should destroy it, which is nice. Yeah. All right, so we got here. I'm going to destroy it. Seemed to work. That's good. We still need to cache this objects. That's a shame. Hey, Jason Story, I have a question for you. I'm doing this cache objects, and as you can see right here, it takes a long time to search through all my prefabs and find these two prefabs that have this script on it. But what I noticed is that it takes a long time just to find all the prefabs, yet when I search for prefabs in this search field here, just going T prefab, it's very snappy. It's much faster. So what's the deal? How do they do that search so fast when my search, which is this code right here, which is, where is it? Where is this code right here, is slow? That's my question. All right, so let's see if this works again. Oh, I should change this, huh? All right, let's fix that. Rotation plus 90. Okay, so we're going to say, we'll do this before here. We're going to say fix rotation fix rotation and connector. So this is just going to make it so that it's always between 0 and 3 or 280 or something. So we'll say if connector.rotation.y is less than 0, then connector.rotation.y plus equals 360, and then if connector.rotation.y is greater than 360, greater than or equal to 360, then connector.rotation.y minus equals 360. That should fix that. Let's see. They're probably using the type cache class. Oh. I see. Ah, okay. Let me type cache. I'll bring that up and have to look it up later when I can think better. Unity 3D type cache. Okay. More research for me later. Look at that. It says, oh wow. Alright, I'll have to look at that later. For now, did this work? It did. Look at that. Alright. So we got that. I'll cache my objects again. So the other thing I want to do is when I add an object, oh, the lock needs to be wider. When I add an object, it needs to connect itself so that the other object knows it's connected to this object. Otherwise, you click on the other object and you'll be able to add a new connection, and that's not what we want here. Let's do that now. Let's do a couple things. So lock is going to be here, and Oh yeah, width 30 is 2. So which width is going to be 150? We'll just do that, and then object, and this is going to say if connector.lock, then position rotation equals return. And so we're actually going to change this to be lock connector. There you go. Connector, that locked, even better. All right, connector.locked. All right, that's even better. So we got the lock. It's too wide. It's got to be 100. All right, so it's 100 now. And so when we instantiate, how are we going to know we're gonna have to make an assumption. Let me I'll talk it through because there's a chance it doesn't work in all cases, I suppose. Oh, interesting. I'll have to dig deeper into that. I'm sure there's a way I can do it too. So when I do, now we have to wait a while. Oh, I should probably have a field where you can just drag an object in. By the way, welcome to the stream, everybody. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Oh, I have some whiskey left. I thought I was out of whiskey, but it was just much, much less than a full glass. Now I'm out of whiskey. All right. So when I add one of these here, it adds it in the right spot. Or in this case, it didn't. Let me turn one of these off. Okay. So I've got this here. If I add a cave, oh, look at that. It totally did not add it in the right spot. Interesting. I guess so this connector, this cave also has connectors on it, which for some reason aren't showing up in the gizmos. I'm not sure why that's so weird. Their gizmos are not. That's weird. All right, so a couple things. I'm gonna be done with this in a minute, but the gizmo should be showing up here. I don't know why, because it's supposed to be showing up on the selected object, but it's not. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But since it's clear that this object's center is not at the right spot, what I need to do is basically when I instantiate, choose a random gizmo or a random connector position, match that position to this one. So in this case, it would move it down that much. And then I'll have a button to choose the next or previous or random position connector, and then it will just automatically redo that at every time. And then you got the connectors, so then you can walk through the caves and do all the cool stuff. And then this one will automatically connect itself, one of these, to this one, so that you can see it's connected, and therefore you shouldn't touch it. It might even automatically lock it for you. So there's that. So now it's time to play a game, because I'm tired and I gotta go to bed. But before I do that, I'm going to play some Hearthstone. So you're welcome to leave the stream if you don't want to watch me play Hearthstone. But I'm going to get a slightly bit more of whiskey. So I will be right back. Alright. Party can start now. Play. I said play, didn't I? Alright. So I've only done this on a live stream once and I totally kicked ass. But I'm at a higher tiered level or whatever, point level, so it's harder now to kick ass because the players are better than they were before. But we're going to try to kick ass. What do we got here? Ooh, I like this one. I don't like this guy. Although with this, it's double stuff. I think... Oh, this is... I think we'll do this one. My favorite classes, I don't know if you all play this game, but my favorite right now are the Elementals and the Naga. The Naga is the newest one, I think, but both of them do best if you are able to buy a lot of them. And they scale. When they scale crazy. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm going to win. It's a good chance. At least a 1 in 8th chance that I'll win. Oh my gosh. Well, this is just a gift, isn't it? This is actually a really good start because this hero, I don't know, Sulfuras was his name? Ragnaros, the Fire Lord, needs to kill 25 enemies, and this has a fairly high health and a high attack at the start. I know, I took a break for about 7 months, I think. 6-7 months, and I came back. All I do is really play the Battlegrounds. I don't really do anything else now, but yeah. So I think I'm in a good spot. I think I'm in a good enough spot where maybe I don't have to go up to tier 2 right now. I can take one more turn to grab this one. He went to tier 2. He's got 1 elemental. So if I go to tier 2 now, I know I'm going to do this. If I go to tier 2 now, the next turn I'll have 5, and I'll have 2 opportunities to refresh, but I'm still going to buy this. Alright. I'll freeze it. I used to only play the weekly things for the most part because I didn't like in the solos because I don't like playing against other people. But with Battlegrounds it's fine because it's not like people can buy the best cards and and beat me simply because I don't know all the cards or have all the cards or shit like that. Oof, I like that if I was doing elementals, but I think I'm kind of looking for Naga now. I need that one. Oh, that's a good one. I'll save it. But I need that one that retains all the spell. There's one that retains spellcraft every turn. It's first one. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. So we agree on popcorn and Hearthstone. I'm glad. This is good. Um, yeah. It's because, I mean, and it's fine. I get it. They make their money that way because people collect the cards and they want to learn all the new combos and all the little gimmicks. There are certainly some times where there's like some almost an exploit, and you see people doing that, and it's like, all right, I know what you're doing. You're gonna win because you did that one exploit that everyone does right now, so you're definitely gonna win. You know, and then I'm like, this is just dumb, so I leave. I'm sure they have data on that, maybe. To a degree. Okay. I'm assuming about we agree on everything to a degree. Ooh, what do we got here? Oh, I don't like any of these. Give a minion 3 randoms. I'll take this one, and I'll save it. Maybe I'll use it now. Oh, if only I was doing elementals, that would be a great roll. Ooh. Should I get the triple? Yeah. I should get the triple. Whoops. What do I get? What do I get? Probably this. Alright, and we will give 3 health and time. Oh, I should have done it to that one. Oh well. We'll give this to that, this to that, this to that. We'll save that free roll. Oh. Oh, I see. Because you did the asterisk. I get it now. But yeah, the mushroom popcorn. That is the bomb. Every single one is like one piece, and you're like, oh, so good. Ooh, I might get an extra kill. 2 extra kills. How exciting. That was a good turn for me. I like that hero a lot. I've played it only once. Ah, this is the one I was looking for. And I can level up at the same time. Holy cow. I'm going to go with the health and taunt at first. And I will give this to... You know what? I'm going to give it to this one. I guess I could have given it to the taunt one. But that's okay. Wow, this is a good game so far. Nice. The gummy's kicking in. The whiskey's not really kicking in for me. I feel a tiny bit, but the reality is this is just me when I'm tired. When I was younger, I would go to parties and I'd show up and be very excited that I was at a party, and people would be like, wow, how much have you had to drink? And I'd be like, none, I just got here. But I just was very excited to be at the party, you know? And I already slur my words anyways a little bit. It's part of my speech impediment, which I blame my parents for because they're from Boston. And, by the way, we found out that we're pretty much a lot Irish. Could be why I like the drink. But luckily, I don't have whatever most of my other family has, which is the bad drink liking bit, where you like the drink and then you become an asshole. Instead, I just get funnier. Alright. Will we win? Oh, this is going to be a tougher one. I don't think we're going to win this one. Oh, we'll tie it. That worked out well. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, should I try for a triple here? I might as well try for a triple here, right? Because that would be a pretty gnarly triple. Should I go for the guaranteed something? No. I really want another one of these. I didn't get it. Well, darn. I rolled the dice and I didn't get it. Wait, you literally never played it? I thought that you just figuratively never played it. I've been listening to a book about Dungeons and Dragons and TSR. I actually saw it in a bookstore. That's good. I'm having whiskey and streaming. Texting a friend. What's the book called? Slaying the Dragon, A Secret History of Dungeons and Dragons by Ben Riggs. I saw it at the bookstore, but I have all these Audible things and I prefer listening, so I buy it on Audible. And it talks about Magic the Gathering a lot and how, all that went down, the mismanagement of that company and stuff. But
keep up the momentum, friend.
I got kicked out of a Vegas bar once, but I didn't know about it until the next day. Oh, that was so close. I went back and they were like, "Oh, you're back." I was like, "Oh, really?" Turns out I kept dropping my Long Islands. Yeah. Do we have mechs in this? Oh, we do have mechs, so maybe I should buy this one. I think I'm just going to level up. I'm going to give this one more health. And we will give this one more attack. Nice. Wow, that's really strong. I mean, it's not been half an hour. I don't think I have a whiskey of choice right now. Whatever Costco's selling that is cheap. Costco has some good selections. I don't know if it's... I'm sure it's pretty good everywhere, but they've got... they always get the local ones, and so there's a number of local whiskeys that are, $25 for a liter, which is not super cheap, but it's certainly not expensive. And they're really just sippable and they, good. Oh, I know. So that's a story. I was younger then. This is during the year and a half or 2 years that I could dance. I could probably still dance, but I learned I could dance because I would get drunk with my friends from work and we'd go to the club where one of my colleagues was bartending and we'd get drinks and I would dance and then the ladies would say, "No, we want to keep dancing with you." And I was very confused because in high school I was the guy who would stand on the corner and I wouldn't dance. And they said, "No, you're a good dancer." And then I realized, holy shit, when I'm drinking, I can dance. So for a while, yeah. So I went to Vegas and this time, for some reason, I went alone. I think my brother had a wedding to go to, or a funeral, and his friend who we would usually go with had a wedding. And so, oh, this is a good turn too. And so, oh, that's too bad. I would have had it if I just hit that one. And so I was in Vegas by myself. And so I went to the store and bought a bottle of effin' vodka. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, I'll take this one. Oh, that was the wrong one. Oh, well. Effin' vodka and a bag of Ruffles. And I was talking on the telephone to a lady friend from Florida who did not work out well. All right, we're going to switch that and move this. And then I went out. Oh my gosh. What the heck? This is good. I think we're going to abandon going for a triple there. And gosh, I don't know what to do now. I guess we'll do that. And I'm going to save that. Should I wait for that? No. All right. So I went, had the drink, basically vodka on ice with Ruffles, which is perfectly fine combination if you ask me. And then I went out to the bar and we went to Rum Jungle. I don't know if you folks have been to Vegas. I don't even know if Rum Jungle is still around. I think it was at the Mandalay Bay, if I'm not mistaken. This was, at this point, probably 15 years ago. And 15 years, that's a long time. And oh, good night, Ashley. Oh yeah, 118. That's pretty late. Have a good night. This was also nerd for the Spock thing. And this was 15 years ago, and I remember the Rum Jungle was still serving dinner. I guess I had gone down too early, so they weren't open for drinks. And the year prior, me and my brother and his friend had gone there, and it was, well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So it was a fun night on the dance floor. But so I went back, and I remember talking to my brother while sitting on a big statue. I was a younger gentleman, and I was drunk, and I was talking about how attractive every person was who walked by. And that's the last thing I remember besides telling him, okay, I'm going in. And I went in, and then I woke up in the morning, and I had a little bit of a headache, to say the least. And then definitely losing this one. And I realized that about 3/4 of the bottle was empty. And that was what I had before I left for the bar. That's my story. Alright, so the question is, do I reload or do I level up? Will I beat this person? I don't think so. So I'm going to reroll. Oh, good. Okay, this one's better than that. They both have taunt, so I don't actually need that one anymore. Ooh, perfect. So we're going to put this here. We're going to sell this. Put this here. Buy this. Get that triple. Put it here. Discover a minion. Ah, exactly what I was looking for. Alright, give it to that. And then... I assume I'm probably going to get a triple at some point here. So what I think is I might put... I'm going to keep this one around forever. Okay. Ooh, gotta be quick. Quick. Give that to that. Give that to that. This to this. This to this. And this to this. Alright. Wow, that was a close call. Ah, too bad. You sunk my battleship. Ah. Darn. Darn. I might lose this one. I thought I was doing pretty good with all the cards I got. Well, now I have to do a really good job. Ah, there we go. That's exactly what I was looking for. Alright, before I do that though, I'm going to give this to this. I'm going to give this to this. Then I'm going to take this. That's huge. Then I'm going to take this. Neither of these are good. But this one's okay. Huh? Alright, now that I've got two of them, that's even better. So we'll put both of these here, and this one move over here. This one go here, because I'm going to keep it around. Divine Shield we will put on here. And then for our attack thing, we will give it to this. I know that was a smaller doubling, but it brought up higher, I think. And I think that might have been a good move. Yeah, pregame. The magician phase. The good old days when you were the most interesting man in Ireland.
Don't tell me others. I'm rooting for you.
Oh. Ooh. That was a close one. Ooh. Well, that worked out well. These two actually did a trick, didn't they? I've only played Magic the Gathering a couple times. In high school, I used to have a lot of the cards, but I never got the game. I didn't understand the game back then. Alright, I think it's fair to level that up. Look at all those elementals. Oh, man. I don't like this one. Well, that didn't do anything for me. Alright, let's see. So we're going to give 2/2 to that. We will give Divine Shield to this. And we will give 4 attack to this one. So that when they do get attacked, at least they do some damage. These two things are really annoying when they keep going back and forth, and you're like, oh, so this is never going to end. You just have to get lucky and roll the die to kill one. Oh, interesting. Okay, I've heard of Commander, like Commander packs or something like that, and I guess I never realized that was a different thing. I thought it was just a new series or something like that. Interesting.
Have a good battle, friend.
Oh, wow. Oh. Wow. That worked. And here I thought I was going to lose the whole thing, and then I got lucky. Still not in the top 4, though. Anything could happen. Ooh. I like the steel. I like the Divine Shield. I like the tier 6. I think I'm going to take the Divine Shield, though. I'm going to give it to this bad boy. Alright. I'm going to take this. Take this. And we are going to get rid of this. And do that one. Do this one. So we're definitely giving this to this one. We're giving this to this one. We're giving this to... I feel like this doesn't need to get bigger. I'm going to give the 1-to-1 to here. And that's the big one. I know I just said it doesn't need to get bigger and then I made it bigger, but that's okay. And then we'll make that bigger and then reload and see what we get. This Arm of the Empire one is one of my favorite cards. I love getting taunts and then getting these and just making them super powerful. With elementals too, especially. 4 players. Oh, 1v1. Politics and deal making, really. Huh. Interesting. Magic's a fairly complicated game, I think, which more probably because it's physical. Hearthstone, they get that. I mean, obviously, they got the digital thing, so they can, do whatever they want with it. and make all these special rules and stuff and cool features that you can't do with a physical game. What is this character doing? Oh man. Alright, they should have put this one at the front. That's their mistake. Or not. We still win. I think I'm going to lose against whatever this character has, because that steal all the minions and they're tier 6. They're going to steal everything. Alright. I don't think there's any point to going to tier 6 at this point. Really, it's just... I mean, the game's almost over. I think I won't necessarily use that card yet. It doesn't make sense to get that one at this stage. Or that one. Yeah, that was a waste. Oh well. Divine Shield here. 2/2 here. 2/2 plus Wind Fury here. Alright. That's what I've got Gloomhaven behind me on my wall of games here. And I want to play it. I don't know how much I'll like it, but I just want to play it because first I bought it, and second, it's just a big game, and I like big games. But my friend, we both have played Jaws of the Lion because I also have that behind me, and he's got it too. And we both agree that Gloomhaven is essentially a video game. This is Hearthstone, Evil Creeper. It was coding and cocktails and caves, and then it turned into Hearthstone because I got tired. Yeah. Oh, you did? How was it?
I think you can win this thing.
Oh. I should have remembered that one. Oh well. Wait, am I gonna lose? No, okay. That was close. That was almost embarrassing. Alright, I'm gonna need this, I think. If they have demons, then they might have that stupid demon that shoots every time a demon dies. So this Leroy might work out well. I think at this point I just need as many of these spells as possible, and it doesn't matter. This is the last round for the most part. So I will give up. I'm going to keep those ones. I'm going to give up that. I will take this. And I will buy another one and get another shock to the heart. And put that there. And then we got this one. I will get that. And then that's all we can do. So I will then put that here. Alright, Divine Shield. 8 attack. 8 attack. 2/2 just in case they got a giant ass thing. Wind Fury here. And 1/1. I think we're in the best position. Now if they do have that stupid, I forget the name of it, the character that shoots damage every time a demon dies, then hopefully they'll shoot Leroy first and then it will die and we'll win. Otherwise we'll lose. That's just the way it is. Yeah, it's the character progression that I think would be fun once we got into it. I think we just have to get past the fact that the AI is the AI, and oh wow, that's a lot of taunts. I don't know, will we win? I don't know. We might. Oh. Look at that. Oh, we have to play again, though. We have to beat him twice, and now he knows what we got. And he can get everything in tier 6. I need another Leroy. This is the guy, the soul juggler. That guy's annoying. Okay, I think this is pretty much the last one, I think. So we're just gonna go all out here. I don't know if we want a triple on that one. Just in case there's another round. Alright, Divine Shield here. Minion 1/1. We're going to give these to these two. And that to that. I think I'm going to move this up here. Oh, it's going to give him +3 health, but that's okay, right? He's not going to survive. Huh. Well, I had Mice and Mystics, but then my brother took it as a birthday present. Ah, he did the same thing. Oh, that wasn't the best use of it. Oh well. Hopefully he hits this one with his... Oh, he hit my best. He sunk my battleship. Ah, he's gonna win. Can't beat that one. Oh, unless... No, alright. Good game. Good game. Frosthaven, that's not... That's the official Gloomhaven 2, isn't it? I almost got it for my friend, but I knew... Then I was like, nah, that's too much money for a game that I know he's not ever going to use. Alright, quit that. Well, that was fun. Second place. Better than last place. Alright, so there's more to do on this cave stuff. But I should show you the other stuff while I'm at it. Let me show... Let's see. Where is the demo scene? Where is the demo scene for this? Towers, stone, those are both things being worked on. Where is the demo scene for this one? Oh, here it is. Save that. More work to be done there to figure out that logic. But the idea will be that you can just click and click and click and click. So that's not there. So this is the demo scene for this. Let me know what you think. Let's maximize it. Let's show it in all its glory. Let's see how it works. I was inspired by the game New World. And so we built traversable rocks and stones, and these caves have been sitting on my system for forever. And I built a shader that does a triplanar stuff, and you can kind of tell here that there's vertex blending the vertex data. Wait a minute, why aren't I moving? I should be moving. Why aren't I moving? Alright, I don't know. Delete that. Why aren't I moving? Where's my cave or player? Camera. Oh, missing prefab. Player capsule. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, well, let's fix this then. I don't know what was there. I always get confused with post-processing. I never know exactly what settings to use. Yeah. Why is there a problem? Oh, shit. I don't remember what scripts were on this. Alright, well I feel like it's not going to work now. So instead, we'll bring in the extended fly cam or dolly, camera dolly. Let's bring in the camera dolly instead. We'll put this here, and we'll put the camera dolly. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Now let's see it. Alright. Looks like the lighting isn't baked right and there's a tree in this rock. But we can move around now. Alright, so you can see these rocks, or these stones. Basically, they're just meant to be really nice, and because I've got this special shader on it, they look pretty decent really close up. Like, you know, you get really close and they look pretty decent. Oh, well, hello, blues in Seattle. It's like Sleepless in Seattle, but instead blues in Seattle. Well, yeah, you caught the end of it. I'm just showcasing the new stuff. I gotta go to sleep, but I was just showcasing what I've been working on, what we've been working on with this pack. This is gonna be the Stone Caves pack, and so it's got caves, but it also has these rocks, which are really just kind of neat little rocks, and you can do, or stone blocks, and you can do a lot with them. So like here I've just set up this little wall, which is pretty neat, just a wall, and then it also has these bigger stones. Now these are scaled up huge, and this one's clearly not doesn't have the right texture on it yet, but this one does. So it's scaled up huge, but still looks pretty decent close up. You can get pretty close before it looks like wrong. And that's important because really it's scaled up really big. So you can see down here some other stuff. I feel like the camera's moving pretty slow, but the stuff down here, you can go through here and see what this looks like. The stones can also be made really small to look like this. Whoops. Yeah, so some of these don't have the right material set up yet, and then you can combine them. So this is like a pre-combined, this archway is just combined with all of them. So you got stuff like that. Well, they're here when you need it, and so are we. So you got all this stuff, and then you got these caves, and it looks like the caves are missing. Well, that's disappointing. Where's all the caves? Well, caves were there. Anyways, you got the caves. Which is the whole modular cave system with the, I guess maybe that's the thing I deleted. Maybe it was missing its prefab. There's a lot going on here that needs to be fixed. It's been a while since I touched it. The light mapping is causing this. And stuff. But yeah, but the idea is that if I go ahead and duplicate one of these rocks, this one's scaled up a ton, but let's look at it. It's scaled up 50 times, 60 times. So if we go 1:1:1, this is the actual size of it. Pretty small, but when you scale it, turn off the gizmos. So pretty small, looks nice. It's a good looking rock. Nothing's too fancy, right? But then when you scale it, you can see the texture. It looks weird as you're scaling it because it's kind of doing weird stuff. But when you make it big, it still kind of looks okay. And when you make it bigger, it still kind of looks okay. And when you make it really big, it still kind of looks okay. And that's the shader going on. So the shader is using this thing I'm calling, what am I calling it? Material inspectors. So it's the actual material on this is, I'm scratching my finger, it itches, is Traversable Rocks Infinity, and this is a object material shader. So if I go to my material inspectors, we're looking at Rocks 1. Material inspectors, Rocks 1, we look at this, we now have this nice fancy little thing here, and we've got different layers. So the blue layer is on, blue layer off. You can turn that on and off. But the default texture is here. You can desaturate it. You can change the color hint of it and all that, or just press this button to bring it back. Intensity of the normal map if you want to do that. You can use triplanar or not for that. And then for the detail texture, that's where you get these nice details. So when you zoom in close, the detail texture is what gives it that little extra, oh, it still looks okay from close up. And that uses the triplanar material. Otherwise, you don't quite get the same effect. So you can do it in world space, object space. There's some options there. There's options for tiling. So, like, I guess in a way, it might be better to tile it like that. You know, it's up to you. And then we've got the blue layer, and this is cool. It's got some dirt on it. That's cool because if you have Polybrush installed, then you can load up Polybrush, take your vertex painting, select the blue layer, and in this one they use the dark equals on, which does not fit with my brain, but that means blue is on. We'll select white, so we're only painting blue, and now you can see the preview, but you can paint dirt on it, you know, as you see fit. And now that we've painted some dirt, and I'm going to make this dirt really, really big there, and then over here I'm going to actually bring it down on this side so it's not quite as big, or maybe, let's see, yeah, something like that. Okay, and then back on this, we've got some options for the height blending, so you can kind of blend the height. And I think this needs some work, personally. I think it's not quite ready yet. Like the math is kind of odd or something. I'm not sure what, but there's all these options. So of course it's vertex, so you get these hard lines if it's a hard thing. But if you blend it right, then you get these nice softer looks to it. And then you got, you know, a blended material. And this can blend 4 different layers. So if you really wanted to, you could add in moss, you could add in water and other stuff. Yeah, and so you can make a lot of looks that way. So that's what it is. I'm glad you like what you see. Good night, El Sporco. Really? If you scale objects non-uniformly, you can often break player controllers that use ray casting. I wonder why. I wonder why that is, because on these I like to break it use it non-uniformly. I love to just, for these ones I've been actually very much enjoying just going like this and making it bigger, because the triplanar material allows you to do this and it kind of looks okay still. I think we got some vertex painting going on here or something with that line, so you make me a liar, but otherwise it looks pretty much okay. Like it does, of course, if you stretch it too much it starts being obviously stretched, but you get some wiggle room. I wonder why that is. Anyways, so that's that. That's the little preview of what I'm working on. I don't know how long it will take me to get this out because I don't have much time right now, unfortunately. But there you go. So anyways, I gotta go to bed. It's 11:50. I got meetings in the morning, which is weird because it's Friday and I shouldn't have meetings on Friday. Nobody should. It creates angle calculations. Interesting. I guess it does make sense, especially if there's some system that's using Or expecting it to be 111 and then it's not or something. Scam likely from Washington, D.C. Yeah. Now I'm checking my calendar. Yeah, this is silly. An 8 a.m. meeting. That one's actually not going to be long. 9. It's a team coffee / lunch. I guess that's nice. Except, oh God, 2 of the people. So sad. 2 of the people on this meeting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the meeting, and 2 of them were laid off not long ago. So this is a recurring meeting that I think is every month, and it's been a heck of a month. So that's a shame. It looks like there will be only 4 of us then if we show up. And then a meeting that she probably won't show up, but I'm having frustration with this other team that's not doing their job or even responding to things. And then another meeting and UX updates. Last minute Friday meeting. They want to get our feedback. Wow. And then a coffee with someone at 1, which is fine. That's an in-person meeting. Anyways, one day I won't have that. I know. Layoffs suck. It's really annoying. That's why I'm doing 2.5 jobs right now, because they laid people off and didn't replace them. But the work still needs to get done. Hey, there you go. All right, so have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I'm glad I did this impromptu stream. I wasn't going to, and then I was like, well, let me just do it. So there you go. I'm glad I did. It was fun hanging out for the new folks, Blues in Seattle and some others. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you showed up, and I look forward to seeing you again at some point and catching you when I'm streaming. All right. Bye, everybody. I haven't clicked the button yet. Bye, everybody.